What's good? What's good? We are back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and much, much more. So we had a little 2 week break, been going hard for the year, and we back with a first return guest on the Paul Pickett Podcast. He'll be fighting this Saturday, November 23rd, 2024, in Los Angeles, California, BKFC Fight Night LA at Thunder Studios. Let's bring back on the one and only Mike Mighty Mouse Hansen.
Hey,
Mike,
what's
what's
good?
good, man?
How much?
How you been?
Same. Just staying ready for my next opportunity. Ended up getting it, and now we're here.
So before we get into the fight, I want to ask you just 2 or 3 questions.
Yeah.
So when I posted the clips, right? I would put Mike Mighty Mouse Hansen. A lot of cats was hating, like, yo, there's only one Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
I guess
Now
that so I
there.
had to do some research. I guess they're talking about Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah.
So I saw a post today where Brandon Allen said somebody else had the Superman name and he wanted to fight him for the name. Would you bare knuckle fight Demetrius Johnson for the Mighty Mouse name?
That's not even a question. Of course I would. That would be like my biggest payday, and I'd be out probably. I'd pull Conor McGregor situation and probably invest in BKFC. But I would. I mean, if the opportunity came and they're like randomly, hey, you want to fight Mighty Mouse for the Mighty Mouse name? No question, sign still deliver right now for that opportunity. That experience alone would be great. And for everyone out there saying that I'm not the real Mighty Mouse, shut up.
That's what they
Fight
said.
me then.
That's what they said. They said
Yeah,
there's
shut
only
up
one
then.
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, which they're right. However, I got that name back in 2006 in high school wrestling because I was like 125 throwing around 171 pounders, and they're like, dude, you're
Wow.
like Mighty Mouse. You're small and just tossing guys around, and that's how that stuck. And then when he went into the WEC, I was like, oh, he has that name that I have, which is crazy because he's again another flyweight. He's small and stocky. So I didn't
Yeah.
take it from Mighty Mouse. It was given
Yeah.
to me back in high school. But now everyone brings it up like, oh well, there's still another Mighty Mouse. Cool, great, that's awesome. Do you guys want a cookie or something? I don't care. It's my name.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, "Where's all this hate coming from?" I was like, "Oh man, there's
Yeah,
another dude with Mighty Mouse. What the hell's going on here?"
they just hate
Okay,
us because they ain't us. That's it. I don't care. And
yeah,
and then all these guys talking are there's these guys sitting alone. They're probably a high body fat, high BMI, low muscle mass. They're just sitting at home doing nothing. It doesn't bother me.
all right. So BKFC Spain, did you watch that?
Yeah, that was where do I start?
I, I
They
mean, where do you want to start? I mean, I was going to ask you about the main event. Like, what your reaction was to that?
that I mean, what Conor McGregor did for them after the fight, double their purse and give them an extra bonus, was extremely earned. When
Yeah,
when these fighters in any gloves or no gloves, boxing, MMA, whatever, when you fight like that, it is just a given that you're gonna get taken care of, right? So uh, a company or the owner of the company or the matchmaker say, hey, you go out there and fight your ass off, and there's some money for you. Like they always say that before every fight. Like David Fetterman came in the
yeah,
back before my last fight, and Pachanga said the same thing. That's why I fought the way I did because I'm like, ooh, I can make some money, which I did for my bonus.
yeah.
And to have a fight like that, they will for sure take care of you. So they both earned it. I think that they got a lot more than what they thought they were going to get. The way Connor did it, double the purse and like a 6-figure bonus, probably, maybe not, but a big bonus. That payday
Yeah.
alone changed their lives.
Do you think Feldman knew that Connor was going to do that?
No, I think if you look at Feldman's reaction, he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we are? Oh, we
He's like,
are?"
"What?"
But Connor's like, "Yeah." Connor's like, "I don't care. Money ain't an issue with him." So, plus, in my opinion, I think Connor's the money man in the business, and Dave is the
Yeah.
businessman in the business.
Yeah, Chris Lytle said something that I thought was so true about that fight in the middle of the fight. He's like, it looked like he was watching Rocky too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
That
when
was
they
a
just
very true
got to the
statement.
end and they were so tired out and they were still throwing punches, but you could just see there was not enough power and force behind any of them punches.
Yeah,
And
their juice was gone after like the third round because they were swinging to
yeah,
get out of the fight real quick, which is great. But that just right there, like with the gloves off, the way they did what they did, and they got taken care of. It literally made me happy to see that for them and for the sport because now when you have fighters, like I said at my last time I was with you, guys are quitting after they get jabbed. I'm like, bro,
yeah.
you're in a fight anyways. Just what do you have to lose? What, a loss in your record? Who cares? Fight, because then you get taken care of.
Now, knowing they doubled the purse on that one, I mean, you would think that would motivate some of the fighters in the BKFC to kind of like go out there and just put on a good show, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I definitely now think that us on the roster, like, oh, that actually happened, and that could be me. Why not
Yeah,
be like the? It doesn't matter if you're the main event or you're the first fight to start the card off. If you do that, you'll get taken care of. I was the first fight to start the card off, and I got taken care of a
yeah,
little bit. So it's like, imagine if I was on a Spain card and I did what I did. It probably would have been, So the opportunity comes to you. Don't let it slip from your hands because you got jabbed or you're like broke your face or broke your hand. I don't care. Again, you'll never see me quit unless I'm knocked out, slept, or doctor says you're done. Cool.
Jake Paul Tyson. Did you watch it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, everybody. I'm pretty much the consensus is like it wasn't a good fight. But this one, I want to really ask you: do you think these fights are really scripted?
No, no, no. There's John Jones after his post fight interview, he said that there's not a possible way it could be scripted. When you got a 58-year-old old legend in there that isn't going to give it 110% for all 8 rounds like it did back in the day. So what
Yeah,
Jake Paul did was just stay at bay, stay at bay, stay at that jab, stay at that jab, throw a few hard shots. Um, I think also what they wanted to do was not make it a 2 round fight, and then everyone be like, "Yo, dude, we paid or not paid, but like we're watching for an
yeah,
8 round exciting fight." But just for a 58, almost 68-year-old human being in general, legend or not, to go in there and um, perform the way he did against Jake is respectable. Did
yeah,
he look good? Of course not, but that just comes with the age. His excruciating training sessions from when he was like 13 all the way to what 20 years ago, his last fight. Like, so what he did in there, he did it for himself. And after his fight, when he said, "I don't have nothing to prove but to myself," that just his stock rose. Jake Paul's stock rose too because he didn't um, go out there and then just like beat the brakes off of him because he could
yeah.
have. He could have. So he boxed a little
And I
bit.
think
And
I think the most shocking thing of the night was like Tyson literally showed his ass.
oh, dude, I didn't even see. I was like, "What the?" I thought that was scripted because he was talking to his son, who was the reporter, and I thought that was
Is
scripted. But
that
that
oh,
was
that's
funny.
who it was? It was his son?
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't I was because I was like a little confused why you would kiss a guy on the cheek
no,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. That was his son. Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, that was
yeah. So
crazy.
he showed his whole ass on
So
the freaking TV.
next Saturday, you got this cat, Dominic Carey. I was doing some research on him. What do you know about this guy?
I know he's 2-3. Amateur MMA in New York. I know he's tall as hell. He's like
Okay.
fucking 10 feet tall. He's like 5'9". Um, I saw the fight that he had with that Trinidad guy. The only thing I could really say is I wasn't in there. I know a lot of people are saying that like he got an easy
Punch
one
like
handed
while
to
he was
him
on like I think they say he got punched while he was down and on a knee or something.
twice. Yeah. So I just watched
Yeah.
that fight again last night. Um, it just seems like Kerry can't deal with pressure. He's not used to it. That was his first pro fight. And there's
Yeah.
no gloves on. It just seemed like the pressure got to him. He took a knee, which was smart. That was the smart side of him. But the Trinidad guy never should have tagged him twice. To be unbiased, I don't think it was enough damage for him to call the fight and take the win because he
Okay.
was sitting there perfectly coherent, in my opinion, talking to his corner doing this. But then
Yeah.
the moment the doctor steps in, I think it clicked. He said, "If I say no, I can't continue. I'm going to win."
Yeah.
So, but then again, I wasn't in there. I don't know if he got hit.
Let me ask you this: being that it was a disqualification, do you feel like he earned his win?
No, no.
That's what I was thinking. Like he didn't really earn it. I mean, you got it off of a circumstance where, I mean, in those fights, the adrenaline can be pumped. I've seen dudes like, like you when you knocked down Yost. I mean, you stepped over him like you was ready to damn
Keep
hit him
going.
again. It
Yeah,
felt like, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
adrenaline,
No,
it's probably hard to stop yourself sometimes. Sometimes I've seen dudes that be falling and you hit them, dudes that get hit again, and it happens, man.
yeah, no. I that's exactly what it was. Because if you look after the fact, the Trinidad cat was still running around, bouncing around, like just full of like adrenaline. I don't think it wasn't like intent. Like he didn't do it with a malicious intent to hurt him
Yeah,
and be like, oh, I'm gonna hurt
yeah.
him, boom. But also, I think he comes from an MMA background, and that was his
Okay.
pro bare knuckle boxing fight. So he didn't really, it didn't click. Like
Yeah.
mine didn't click until like the ref was gonna pull me off. I was like, oh, I can't hit him. You know?
And I think that could be a thing where like you come from another combat sport and used to their rules, and you come into BKFC bare knuckle and you totally forget that you're doing different set of rules and whatnot. So he's definitely gonna have to earn it. Now you're fighting in front of your home crowd.
Yeah.
Is it more fulfilling to beat somebody in front of your home crowd or to beat them in front of theirs?
I think it's a little bit. It's a mixture of both. I'm gonna lean more towards like obviously my crowd because after the fight I could hang out with everybody, celebrate.
Yeah,
But on the opposite end of the spectrum, if I get my ass kicked, I don't want to go hang out with everybody that bought a ticket because I'm embarrassed. If I'm in New York fighting Dominic and I lose, I could just, still chill, walk around because I don't have to worry about everyone saying,
yeah,
hey, do a good job or whatever. So it just, I mean, just to fight and have people come out and support me just in general is great. Obviously, I train and look for the fight to win. And I've taken a different approach too since I've pretty much left MMA like 2 years ago. I'm not fighting to win. I'm fighting to perform and just letting the win happen because I used to stress out so damn hard about the win that I would overtrain, overexert. I would have a huge adrenaline dump in like the first 2 minutes, and then I would just get my ass whipped, and then I'd be so embarrassed to go hang out with my friends because I lost. Now it's more as long as I perform and I give you guys what you guys came to see. The outcome's the outcome. Someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose on the 23rd. If it's me, I'm okay with it. If I win, I'm super happy with it. I'm not training to lose, but I'm training to win. But now I've matured a little bit in the game and just want to perform because if I go on a 3-fight losing streak, but I'm performing, they're going to bring me back. If I go on a 3-fight losing streak and I went down in the first minute of each round, I'm not coming back. So that's what I've learned.
all right. So this your opponent's got a 4-inch height advantage. Is your game plan going to be any different than it was with Anthony?
No. The only reason why I'm saying that is because I do think he's a little green still. Um,
Yeah,
he kind of lacks the professional side of things, like the hard rounds, the actual fight experience in there. Because I know with amateur, it's like 3 2-minute rounds or whatever for MMA.
yeah,
And the talent pool here in California, when I was an amateur all the way up to pro, like I fought guys like people don't know this, and everyone can fact check me. Go on Tapology. Me and Sean O'Malley have the same win over the same guy, Alfred
okay,
Kashakian. So like I fought some guys that are just like tough as motherfucking nails, and I don't think he's had that because he's been an amateur. Plus, he's still young. The dude's still young.
yeah,
Um,
he's young.
yeah, he's like 23, 24. So like I'm looking forward to this fight for myself and then for him too. Like again, I'm 35. I just turned 35 last month, and um, like I don't have time or energy to sit here and talk shit about somebody. Whatever we do and it happens in our fight, great. Like him and I are gonna fight. I'm gonna come out there to break his jaw, and he can do the same thing. But after the fight, I want him to continue. I want him
Yeah.
to thrive. So like if he ends up losing to me, which most likely will happen, if he ends up
Mhm.
losing to me, um, I want him to learn from that experience and take in to his next fight. So him being young, him being, lacking it, it gives me the advantages. But I'm definitely not gonna go in there thinking all that. I'm gonna go in there thinking like this dude's like number one contender. If I beat him, I get John Dodson, and then we're on to the next. He is no slouch to me at all.
Now, besides your fight, is there any other fights that you want to see the results of this Saturday?
Ruben War, where
And that's
because
yeah.
that's my boy. Yeah. Um, I don't really know
And
too much about his opponent,
okay. And this is the
so
second time you fought. Last time you fought Ruben was the main event, and that didn't last but like 5 seconds.
2.5 seconds. Yeah, something like that. It was crazy. I think this
Yeah.
one, I think Ruben has it in him to do that again. Like he can repeat history for sure. He can. He is that guy to do that. Same thing with me. I feel like he's a lot more comfortable with no gloves on.
Okay.
Like I was hitting the bag today. I went to the gym earlier this morning to get like a good sweat going. I was hitting the bag with like 10-ounce gloves on. My hands were heavy. I was like, oh, I'm getting tired. I took my gloves off, started shadow boxing, hitting the bag, and I just felt like smooth, like water just flowing, chilling. I was like, bro, without gloves on, I said this in my last podcast with you. I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
I'll shadow box with like no gloves on. I just feel like I'm like Muhammad Ali in there, just moving around, boom, boom. Gloves come on, and I'm like handcuffs on. So I'm so glad that I have no gloves on. It's just beautiful.
Now, your last fight was a bantamweight, right?
Yeah,
This one is you're fighting at flyweight.
yeah.
Which weight class do you typically prefer?
25 flyweight.
Flyweight,
Yeah.
which that's why I want to talk. Like, do you feel like flyweight might be a little easier path to a title shot than bantamweight?
If I agreed with that, I would say only because there's not a lot of people that are flyweights in BKFC.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
so you fight two, three guys, bam, now you fight for the title. But you go to
yeah.
the 135 roster, you got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, like 15 guys, and then the champ. You got like maybe
It's
six
stacked. The
guys.
bantam is stacked. Bantam is stacked.
Oh, the bantamweight
I mean,
like makes me like cringe. I don't want to fight at bantamweight, like
I mean, you
because you
got
also have
Alberto Blas,
mhm, that
Richardson, Barola, Reber, Chris
the list
Garcia. I mean,
the
just
list
those
goes
alone
on.
right there is a lot of dudes to
Yeah.
go through right there.
And then
Like
also,
you,
I'm like 5'4", 5'5", so these bantamweights are like 5'8", 5'9". I mean, even Dominic, he's 5'9" for a
yeah.
flyweight. I hope he stays at flyweight, but as he gets older, he might have to go up to 35. But if Dominic ever fought at 35's bare knuckle, I think he would do very well because of his height. He could put on about 10 more pounds of muscle, healthy muscle, and not be slow, still be fast, snappy. But now he has a pop in his punch. Like I like right now I'm sitting low 30s
Uh-huh.
and I feel perfectly and I feel perfectly fine. If I fought at 35 right now, I would like have to bulk. Like I would have to eat to gain. And I
Yeah.
don't I don't want to feel slow. I felt fast in my fight against Yost because I had a great, great, great camp, great weight cut, and a great warm up. But 25s, I just feel like I'm lethal, especially with the gloves off.
So, I mean, flyweight, I'm looking at it. I mean, typically to get a title shot, you got to be around what 4-0, 5-0 a lot of these times. I mean, you got some older heads to go through, but like it definitely seems possible. I mean, I just interviewed Chancey. Chancey just got beat.
Yeah, by
Um,
Strode.
Joshua Ridge, good friend of the show. I don't know if he's still fighting that much. I mean, because he's over there, general manager that new UFC gym.
Yeah.
I mean, it really seems like if you get a few more wins under the belt, man, you can have a chance at John Dodson, don't you think?
Yeah, not just wins, but I have to get like finishes, stoppages. Like I can't just go out there and then get two unanimous decision
Yeah.
wins and then have a shitty performance. It has to be a decision with a performance to back it up to get my name tossed up in the mix. I at least want to have a number by my name, in the net in 2025 at least. Have a number by my name. I don't care if that's the last or the first to fight, but that's what I would like. So I'm highly hyper focused on Dominic and getting his performance done. seeing how that goes, and then going from there.
Now, this is another thing. Like when guys get title shots in the BKFC, I almost feel like if you lose that, the road back could be tremendously long. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fortunately for me though, the flyweight roster again is like 6, 7 deep.
Yeah.
So I probably have to get 2 more fights, and then or like a last minute replacement. But at like 135 bantamweight, it that would be a damn huge staircase to climb up to come back.
It almost seems like you have to like switch to another weight class to try to make the path of getting another title shot early. Because like Reber just lost to Alberto Blas, and then I look at who they gonna have him fighting next, and I'm just like, they put my guy back down to the totem pole. Like he got to fight regular dudes now, prove himself again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I had a title shot and I ended up losing at 125, I'd probably go to 135. I'd get a few wins, go back to 25. I get a win, and then call him out. That's just how it is now. I feel like with bare knuckle because you can move laterally from 25, 35, 45, 55, all that stuff.
And if you're doing flyweight, I mean, no disrespect to my man J.R. Ridge or Chancey or whatnot, but they're only like 3-3 and 3-4.
Yeah,
So if you
like
come in there at 4-0,
oh for
you're
sure.
gonna be moving up the
After 3-0,
rankings.
I after three and
Yeah, you're gonna
zero,
be moving up at
I'm
yeah, you're gonna be moving up after three and
yeah,
zero. Yeah.
I'm definitely talking to Nate and then be like, all right, bro, like what's up? Like I want to fight either their contender, the number one, or give me that shot. But with bare knuckle, what I have learned over the past like 2 months since 3 months since my last fight is the record really doesn't matter because I've seen guys that are like 3-4 that are
Mhm.
like high level guys. I look at 3-4 as damn that dude's experience. 3-7 in
Yeah, yeah.
BKFC, or
7
or
fights
sorry,
under your belt in BKFC
yeah,
is a
three
lot.
and
Yeah.
four. I mean, even doing like 3-1, I'm like, damn. So I'm not looking to stay undefeated. Like that's not my main goal. I don't want to lose. But I want to be that guy where it's like you could count on me to fight. Look at my record, but look who I fought, and look at my time in that square circle. How many fights have I had? How many rounds have I gone? How many minutes have I gone? Because if you have a new guy coming in who's like 2-0, he has two
Mhm.
quick finishes, but now he's fighting someone who's 4-4. That would keep me up at night because he has way more experience, way more.
Now, what have you heard about this move to the zone? I don't know if you've seen like when they had the fight in Spain, a lot of people was not aware that that fight wouldn't be on the BKFC app, and I saw a lot of people was getting upset about that. Have you heard anything about like this move to the zone or how people felt about it?
I don't even know what that is.
The streaming platform that they're streaming some of the fights on now, the
Oh
DAZN.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I mean Bernoulli's trying to make it accessible for everybody around the world because they're
Yeah.
going all around the world, all
Uh-huh.
like time zone, which is great. I think they should try to dial it in and figure out an app or a company or a streaming platform that can have that fight to show all time zones. Or
Yeah.
like if they're in Spain and they're fighting like right now at 1 p.m., I could go on the app and see it
Yeah.
live, just as if someone in Europe is watching it at like 10 p.m. at night or something. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be hard too because Bare doing a great job in building their business. Like I have sat back, I've dug a little bit deeper into BKFC because I have plans after I'm done fighting. I'd probably like to work with BKFC, but I've dug in more, and they're really pushing the business side, and they're trying to expand different avenues that no company in the combat world has.
Yeah, I understand they got Connor over there. Things are moving fast. I felt like they moved a little too fast on that because they literally was on the BKFC show. Dave was on there and he announced it. But 2 weeks later was the Spain card. So people were like thinking they're gonna get the Spain fight on the BKFC app. And then they go
Uh,
like, oh, it's not on the app. And I saw a lot of people comment like, getting upset, like, yo, this is BS, because then they got to go pay somewhere else. I just felt like they probably should have rolled it out in a timely manner where people knew ahead of time because they wasn't able to really promote it to all their diehard core fans and
Yeah.
whatnot. And you know how this world is nowadays, man. People get so triggered and emotional from
Yeah,
so
everyone's so
many
sensitive.
things, man. It's a lot of sensitivity. What do you know about this Thunder Studios?
Uh, I've never been there, but they hold a lot of fights there here. They do a lot of lights out fights, a bunch of amateur fights out there. They do all kinds of stuff.
Is it like a movie
I,
studio spot?
no, I think it's like it's kind of like a Commerce Casino. If you're familiar with that, it's like the Commerce
Oh yeah,
Casino out
y'all
here.
do a lot of casinos. Y'all do a lot of
Yeah,
casino
so
shows.
it's that just a little bit smaller.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a decent sized place.
Now,
I think it's
is it in Long Beach or LA though? Because when I Googled it, it said it was in Long Beach.
Long Beach, yeah, but it's in the
Okay.
city of LA because it's in the
The
same.
city of
I guess,
LA. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I got some friends out that way. I told them that fight's coming up. They need to try to get out there and
yeah,
check it out, man, because they haven't really seen. I keep telling them about it, my Dizzle guys, but they haven't really seen it to know like this is the next way. And this is the thing. After watching that Tyson and Jake Paul fight and just seeing the numbers that they got for a low quality fight like that, I feel like BKFC should really feel very confident. I think even Chris Lytle was kind of making a comparison about BKFC fights compared to what we saw. 60 million people supposedly tuned in. And I think the arena held almost 100,000, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they said it was the most
yeah.
watched fight ever.
I wouldn't be surprised, but
Who do you
no,
who do you
yeah,
think had most of the draw? You think it was Tyson or Jake Paul that draw most of that in?
Tyson.
Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, people were tuning in to watch Jake Paul get his ass kicked. Nobody was
That's
tuning
what
in
I
to
was
watch.
hoping.
Yeah, nobody was tuning in to watch Jake Paul piece up Mike Tyson. You know?
Yeah. And that's why I was telling somebody about like the Mike Perry fight. I like if it was scripted, that would even be worse for Mike Perry. You know what I'm saying? That you
Yeah,
actually left BKFC to go fight to get money for something that's scripted. And, we know how BKFC is. You leave over and go get your ass whooped somewhere else. They seem to take that a little personal.
of course. Yeah, no, no. Like you gotta stay loyal. You know, like
Yeah.
uh, I don't plan on fighting for a sister bare knuckle fighting company. The only way I won't fight for BKFC is if they have nothing going for me for a year, or they want me to
Okay.
develop my skills a little bit better, or whatever they say. But like, I would never just up and leave to for. I mean, for a payday, I probably would. But um, I think what Mike Perry did was I don't know. I don't even want to comment on that fight. That's just I was disappointed.
I know Redneck Mandel wasn't.
He wasn't disappointed.
No, he would. He said Mike Perry was going to get his ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, everyone does sleep on Jake Paul. Everyone has to remember too. All this dude does for the past 5 years: eat, sleep, and breathe training. There's nothing else. He doesn't have a 9 to 5. The dude's got the money to do it, so he has developed skills. He definitely whooped the lights. He whooped the shit out of Mike Perry, embarrassingly. Um, and he kind of just, I mean, since he was the face of BKFC, I feel like he's not the face of BKFC right now. I feel like that King Kai is
I don't think he should have ever been the face because he never held a belt.
true, which is strange because he was what 6-0,
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
and I just think that they just liked the way he fought because of his fight style, which is just brutal. It was just like spitting blood, fighting, doesn't care, hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. But then again, like I said before, you put gloves on it, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different game. And then if you take gloves
Yeah.
off, it's a whole different game. Like some of these BKFC fighters, like for example, Trout, our champ, like ask him his opinion how it is with gloves and no gloves.
Yeah.
I'm almost
I was
sure.
totally impressed. I was totally impressed in his win.
Oh, that man is something else. Like no doubt at all, no doubt, Trout for sure. Like I
Yeah.
love watching that guy bare knuckle box because you see shades of traditional boxing
Yeah.
in there with
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
glove. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
You said something a second ago. King Kai is the face
Yeah.
of BKFC now. He'd be happy to hear that. I know that because I have to say he's one of the most hated on dudes in BKFC, yo.
Yep. That's why he's the
I'm
face. Everyone tunes in to see him get his face smashed in, but
they
he
want
proves
him to
everybody
get beat
wrong.
so bad, but nobody could beat him.
No, 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 no. And I think by him moving up weight classes or going down weight classes, he's gonna shake up BKFC for sure. I feel like right now, personally,
Yeah,
at this day and age, right now, King Kai is. If I think of BKFC, I don't think of Mike Perry. I think of King
yeah,
Kai.
yeah.
That's it. So
And
that's where I'm at with that.
yeah, I mean, even like I think that's why Redneck never got the fight with Mike Perry because his following on social media and stuff, it isn't that big. Kai Stewart seems like he's a rising star, and I put out a clip, man, and I know this. I know from sources inside, like this was true, that there was people that actually worked for BKSC that wanted to see Kai Stewart lose a few matches because they felt like, I guess they felt like he didn't have the star potential. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's proved that. Like when you see him in the weigh-ins, I mean, his personality, he came out there with a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts. I still didn't get why he did that, but I
Because he
wanted one
can.
so bad. I was like,
No,
damn, I
that's
want one of
why.
those donuts, but I didn't get it. I still couldn't figure out why the hell did he come out with a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts to the weigh-in.
No, that's crazy. Like he's doing a lot of things like small shades of what Connor did. Like why did Connor do half the stuff he
Oh
did
yeah,
on his come up? Why is
yeah.
Kai doing all this weird shit now? Because people love to see it. Like I want to see a fighter step on a scale with a dozen donuts, eating and getting fucking crazy. His energy's through the roof. The way he fights is just amazing. Switch his stance to the switch hitter, boom, boom. He's low hands, moving, getting hit, getting cracked, dropping people, like talking shit after the fight. And then even on social media, just like the way he holds himself, he is that guy to be the face for BKFC. So I would actually love to meet that guy one day.
I interviewed him once. He still owed me a follow up interview, but I do know that nobody thought he was going to beat Howard Davis. Nobody thought he was going to beat Howard Davis, and they definitely thought when he fought El Gallo, they thought it was over for him. And he
It
said
was
when
a
I
wrap,
interviewed
yeah.
him, he said he was going to break El Gallo, and he literally, I mean, the dude left with his shoulder messed up. So I mean, I guess that was true. He broke him.
Yeah, yeah, like HD too. Howard Davis. I have been watching that guy since he started bare knuckle fighting.
He's tough.
That
He's tough.
man. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I try to take from him. Like I look up to him. If you want to talk about like who do I idolize or whatever, and bare knuckle, he's like my top dude that I like. The way he
That's
fights. I
what's
mean,
up.
I watch his stuff on YouTube. If you look at my YouTube on my phone, I have HD Davis BKFC fights because I'll watch it, rewind it, watch it, rewind it. The way he moves with no gloves on at 145. Seeing, I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be crazy to see him come down to 135, but the way he fights, he's on his way. He's on his way to be that guy to get the chance again.
And he's got star. He could definitely get a title. He could be one that could get one real quick, like soon, because he got star appeal too. And I think it also
Yeah.
helps that Shaq is his sponsor, so or one of his
Oh, that
sponsors.
right there. Yeah, that right there just adds value to
Yeah,
his negotiations now.
and I think that's another reason why I felt like they wanted Howard Davis to beat Kai because if Shaq's one of his sponsors, Shaq gets more involved in the BKFC, shows his
Yeah.
face more. And then El Gallo, I
Well,
mean, he's selling like he said, I'm selling $100,000 worth of tickets. Who ain't trying to have that guy? The company's trying to see that guy succeed if he's selling $100,000 worth of tickets, man. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, no. I mean, that alone right there is a pretty good payday for just your commissions on tickets. And then he made a pretty penny fighting, I'm sure, and then he made a pretty penny with the bonus. But if like HD ever got the belt and they had Shaq, it would be a good meeting for an investment talk. Because
yeah,
who knows?
yeah,
Shaq might want to dip 20-30% into the company now. Now you have two investors, Connor and Shaq. BKFC is going to go through the roof.
yeah. That sounds like, and that's the thing. Shaq always invests in every commercial you see him doing. He invests money into all those businesses. He's not just doing it because he's getting paid to, for a sponsorship or whatnot, just run a commercial. He literally invested in all these companies. And when Shaq did Shark Week, I think that took him like literally over the top.
Yeah.
Um,
Plus, he owns a bunch of businesses. Like he has
yeah.
like 5 24-hour fitnesses and a bunch of restaurants.
And he helps a lot of people out, man. A lot of
Yeah.
random people, strangers. So what are we gonna expect, man? Are you trying to go in and end it in the first round?
If I can, yeah. I'm not gonna look for the knockout. I'm gonna set it up
Okay.
just like I did with Yost. I'm gonna box. I don't think he's gonna be able to box with me,
Okay.
but I'm not staying on the outside. I'm either gonna be all the way in, working, slipping, body, head, or all the way out, and then like feints, accessing, moving the head. My head will be moving a lot. I will not stand there for a jab to hit me or a right hand to crack me. Um, so my feints are gonna draw him to either do this, and once he does this, I've seen in his last fight, it's gonna pepper him, and then just sneak one in, and that's a plan.
And now say like either side gets a knockdown first. You think you kind of got a little advantage there because with Yost, he got a quick knockdown, but then you came right back and you hit him with that. I think it was a right. I mean, that landed perfectly on the cheek, and he just when you watch it slow motion, he just started falling back and just fell
Yeah,
on his back,
yeah,
and that was it. And he did, and I told him when I interviewed him, he did look a little, he did wobble a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I still felt
yeah.
like that fight could have went on a little bit longer.
Yeah, I was a little worried that they were gonna stop it with me because
Okay,
I was
yeah,
still trying to get.
okay.
I was still trying. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I was still trying to get my feet under me. He just said, "Come to me, move right, move left." I was like, "Are you ready?" I was like, "Yeah, let's fucking go." And then the moment that he came at me, I did the overhand right. I was good. But like, if he didn't stumble back
Yeah,
by like accident or just by on purpose, the fight would have kept going.
yeah.
Because he looked right at his corner and he was clear eyed. He wasn't like so like I cracked him. He used the time to get up. It's just that stumble that made the ref second guess. Like, no, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, cause neither one of y'all really got cut or was bleeding on that in that fight at all, were you? It just seemed like it
I
was 2 good punches that landed on each side, you know what I'm
the
saying?
flesh.
Yours is
Yeah, I
literally perfect, you know?
cut him with some jabs on his on his on his on his bone on his orbital, but I had to let my hand heal a little bit from the jabs because it was swelled up for like 2 weeks. But I didn't break anything. He didn't break anything. I was trying to get on a card, the one that they had in like August or September, but I just couldn't get on
Mhm.
the card. So now I'm fighting locally. But this fight for sure, I'm gonna replicate my performance. I'm gonna box a little bit more because I don't want to be known as Mike's a fighter. I want to be he's a bare knuckle boxer. I'm gonna box, and I
So
don't think.
this gonna be your second fight in 4 months, right?
Yep, and I don't think Kerry could box, to be honest. Like if we just box, I don't think he can. I think he
And
lacks the experience.
he ain't fought in a year, right?
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Do you think like that's not a good thing for like any kind of fight game, like taking a whole year off?
It depends on the person. I mean, him being so young, it might be a good thing for him because he could just like fine tune his skill set and give him a whole
Yeah.
year just dial in on boxing. Um, it also might do the opposite. He is young. He might just be like, all right, well, I'll just train whenever I get a fight ready, or I won't be as serious off camp. Um, but since the moment Monday, I was back at my boxing coach's house after that fight, just using my right hand.
Mhm.
That's it, and then I just stayed ready. Took like a few weeks off. Had my grandmother pass
Oh,
recently,
sorry
so
to
I
hear
took
that.
I took some time off then, and then dial it in, and now we're here. So
Well, I before we let you go, man, any shout outs you want to do?
yeah, let me shout out my kids for always having to deal with my shit all the time. My coaches for obviously getting me ready. You for bringing me on here again.
Appreciate you.
BKFC, Nate, David, all those guys at the BKFC for having me come on here. HWD, where I work at, all the kids that I teach because I teach kids boxing. Love all the kids. I treat them like they're my own. Love all the parents. They're awesome. Keep bringing your kids to my class, please. Uh, HWD Orange, Luis, the owner of the company, my man, and then the one and the only person that has to deal with my shit 24/7 is my beautiful future wife, Anissa. Thank you for dealing with me and helping me get through this fight again. Once I get this money, we're gonna go Disneyland.
Well, I appreciate you reaching back out, man. You know you're welcome anytime, man. I'm gonna be rooting for you against this dominant carry cat, man, and hopefully you knock him out quick, like in a hurry. Actually, I like to see, I prefer the fights to actually go the distance. So I like to see how, if it just goes a little further, man.
I got
Sometimes the
you.
first
I will.
rounders could be like they could be kind of like disappointing, man, because they be over a little
Right.
too quick sometimes.
I will try to
And
drag it to the
whatnot.
second round
Well, don't do nothing that you know.
or get me in trouble
Yeah,
or
yeah,
caught.
don't do that
Yeah.
for the sake of me, man. But you're welcome on anytime, man. Appreciate you reaching out, man, and have a nice day, man.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, peace. Well, there you have it. Follow up with Mike Mighty Mouse Hansen, and as you heard him at the beginning of the interview, he would bare knuckle Demetrius Johnson for that Mighty Mouse name. If Demetrius Johnson dares step in the bare knuckle ring, the squared circle with Mike Hansen. So check him out. He'll be fighting at Thunder Studios. It's in Long Beach, California, but LA City this Saturday, November 23rd, 2024. That should be available on the BKFC app. And of course, the prelims are typically available on the YouTube channel. They'll stream those live, and they usually stream like a couple main, like the main eventers. They'll stream some of their old fights first, and then they'll get into the prelims, which will be usually 3 prelims. And then if you want to watch the rest of it, you got to go to the BKFC app. But yeah, we're gonna be rooting for him, and can't wait to see his rise through BKFC. Like he said, he's gonna go try to push through the flyweight division, and I think that could be a really good division for him to come up in. I mean, you got a lot of guys that are ranked that are like 3-3, so he gets 2 more wins under his belt. He's definitely gonna be ranked, and maybe one more win, he'll have a chance at the title shot, man. Who knows? But I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Paul Pickett podcast. I was off for a couple weeks, took a little break. Now we back at it. Actually got to get another light for my green screen and whatnot. The lights I got are not totally bright. I had to get back the light that I was borrowing from a friend of mine because he's got a studio for photography that he needed that light for. So I got to get my own. But appreciate y'all tuning in, Paul Pickett Podcast. Mike Hansen. I'm about to get off here, clip up some clips, and we're gonna upload this interview probably tomorrow. Appreciate y'all. Peace, and I'm out.